Anyways, let's get back to the NHL playoffs. Congratulations to the fucking expansion Tampa Bay Lightning. I don't hate you guys because I love Steve Yzerman and I know he's in your front office, so I'm happy for him. All right. Okay. Having said that, you guys were the better team. No matter how bad the officiating was, it was bad for both sides. And no matter what, I think you guys still, you just were a better team. You just were a better team no matter what you were going to win. But I will say this officiating straight across the board in the NHL playoffs, not just arguing for my team, has been really unprofessional. Really unprofessional. There's always a couple of calls here or there, but like it's reminding me of NBA officiating last decade. When I called it, I said it was fixed. I'm not saying it's fixed. This is coming off more like, I feel like it's like, did the real refs go on strike? And these are like some fucking scab refs they pulled out of the fucking crowd. There was just a couple of like, look, you know, Marchand took that guy's fucking knees out. They didn't make a call there, which I thought was bullshit. And, you know, I know we were licking people's faces and there's no rule against that yet. I can guarantee you, maybe now that the Bruins are knocked out, maybe they'll relax. But I mean, I thought if we advanced to the next round, they were going to make a quick rule. It's going to be called the Marchand rule. It's going to be no player shall kiss, lick, tongue, or in any manner use his facial orifice with inappropriate contact. There's going to be the Brad Marchand rule. And someday, if I live long enough, I will see Brad when he's in his 70s on the NHL network laughing about it, talking about how that rule came about and why he was doing what he was doing. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen, and it was hilarious. When they went back to the studio, Jeremy Roenick it was like it happened to him. He's like, I would have immediately gone to the showers. And I was thinking like, oh, that's great. You're a Hall of Fame player. Let's get you off the ice. I had a buddy of mine actually text me, said, not even Sean Avery licked another player. And I was like, yeah, well, he was too dumb to think of it. And he goes, well, if he's that dumb, why is he married to a supermodel? And I said, all right, fair enough. You got me. Anyways, but just, you know, I mean, what the fuck? The guy in Tampa, like, we really needed to win game 4 so we could lose in 6 games. I mean, we were still going to lose. The fucking Tampa game, his hands off his stick. He hauls McAvoy down behind his own net. Behind his own fucking net. No call. It was the most obvious. Not only did the announcers, when they went back to the fucking studio, even they were like, what the fuck? Tampa takes it, pass it over to Stamkos, and they tie the fucking game up. And instead of having a chance to even the series at 2-2, we go down 3-1. It was just stuff like that. You know what's funny is Bartnick was in Tampa Bay, and he was listening to it on the radio, and Esposito said, that looked like a dive, which is the funniest fucking thing ever. Esposito is still fucking pissed that he asked for like $3 more from the cheap-ass Boston Bruins 45 years ago, and they shipped him to New York, our arch rival other than the Canadians, during that time. So he will never be impartial when it comes to us. But what the fuck who the fuck is going to dive behind their own net with the puck? Behind your own fucking net when you're up by 1 and you have to win that playoff game, or you're going to go down 3-1. I don't know. He is Esposito. He is a Hall of Famer. But that did not look like a dive to me. And having said all this fucking sour grape shit, I know Tampa still would have won. I know they probably would have won. Probably 6 games is what I think would have happened. They just had too much firepower. And I think by the time we decided to get physical in the series, it was too late. But that's what was missing in our game this year. I think against Toronto and against Tampa, which both of them I felt had more firepower than we did, is when you're playing a team that has, you know, is faster than you and has more goal scorers, you have to get physical with them. You can't just let them fucking skate around. And I think we just waited too long. But having said that, this rebuild is on an upswing. I mean, I thought that we were going to be bad for a good 6-7 seasons. I didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm very happy that we won a playoff series, advanced to the second round. Definitely a very successful year. And we're going to have a new rule named after one of our players, the Marchand rule. Maybe it's a good thing that we lost in 5. If there was any more games, he might have been the first guy to get a fucking Me Too case from another guy, right? Oh, no, wait. That one guy did. The agent did with the other guy from the cop show. All right. I guess everything's been done. Is that what it is? Has everything been done? And the whole time, this is what kills me, is I'm watching the Bruins, just fucking losing this series, licking people's faces and shit. And I missed every single second of the Celtics 76ers. I had to pick a road. I'm so busy. I got the kid and all that, and I only had time. And I missed, I guess, one of the most epic Celtics games in recent memory, where they tied it up at the buzzer against the Sixers and then came back and won in overtime. All I'm hearing is Rozier, Tatum, Brown, how much they're stepping up. Al Horford, I guess, was blocking shots like a maniac. And so now I have all the time in the world to watch the Celtics now. So that's what I kind of realized. As much as I love the Celtics and everything, I really am a hockey guy, because I knew we were going to lose that series, and I still hung in there and watched it. Although I missed yesterday's game because I was at a kid birthday party, an awesome kid birthday party. Like, when parents do a kid birthday party right, you take notes. These people did it great. They didn't have it at their house. They had it at like a function room. There was an outdoor area. There was a little jumpy house. This guy did a bubble show. He had a good set too, man. That's a tough crowd. Kids trying to keep them, their attention. They had booze for the parents. They had great food, And then over in the corner, they had this area where the kids, one of those playpens that has like a zillion, different multicolored balls and all that type. And it's just, my kid was totally entertained the whole time. I don't think I saw any kid crying just until the very end, where the kids, they need a nap and they're just like, I don't want to do it anymore. But it was a great time. So somebody there asked me, goes, you Bruins playing right now? I'm like, I'm afraid to look. So I was kind of looking down, looking at the scores. And then all my Boston friends were sending me texts going, what the fuck are we doing? These refs suck. The refs really did suck. Who knows? They probably still would have maybe tied it up and beat us in 5. Who the fuck knows? But I'm just saying, I just hate having that, that goddamn feeling. That's like that year the Lakers beat us, which sucks enough. But if the Lakers beat us, it's fine. I can live with that. They're the fucking Lakers. You know what I mean? But, you call like 30-something fouls on one team and, in the teens on the other in a game 7. It's just inexcusable. Unless we were out there hacking people up. And it just, I don't know. It fucking drives me up the goddamn. Those are the ones that stay with me. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck if you just come in and kick our ass. But, I do take peace in the fact that Tampa Bay was definitely the better team. And I feel that easily could have just beat us in 6, as much as I hate to admit that, you motherfuckers. Anyways, plowing ahead, what's going to go on with the Capitals? Are the Capitals finally going to get over the hump and slay the dragon and beat these goddamn Penguins from Pittsburgh? Or are the Pittsburgh Penguins going to continue their march to be the first team since the New York Islanders, as Steve Burr reminded me yesterday, since the New York Islanders to win 3 in a row? It's been that long. The Islanders actually won 4 in a row, from 80 to 84. And I remember them when they were on the cover the next year of Sports Illustrated, and it said the strive for 5. Just, one of the rare times Sports Illustrated put a hockey player back then, on the cover. And I think it was Mike Bossy, if I remember correctly. And that was the age of dynasties when I grew up. When I think about it, from you look at the 70s in hockey, Bruins won 2, Flyers won 2, and the Canadians won 6. So you had 3 teams basically won everything. And then the previous decade, it was Canadians, Leafs, and then the Blackhawks won 1. And then I think Canadians won 5 and the Leafs won 4. Because I want to say the Leafs won 3 in a row and then 1 in 67. And the Blackhawks won in 61, and everything else was the Canadians, if I remember correctly. And then you went to the 80s, then the Islanders. So basically, after it went Bruins, Canadians, Bruins, Canadians, Flyers, Flyers, then Canadians, 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 then Islanders, 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 Edmonton, Edmonton, Canadians, Edmonton, Edmonton, then Calgary beat the fucking Canadians. One of my favorite ones, Lanny McDonald, the ginger. And then Edmonton again in 90. And then 91, 92 was the Penguins. And that was like, I mean, you're talking you could literally go back all the way to the 50s, because I know like the Red Wings won like back to back, and everything else was just fucking basically pre-1967. If you had to guess who won the cup that year, either guess Canadians or Maple Leafs. But then all of a sudden, once, they had the expansion 6 and 67, and then they added, Edmonton Oilers and all those guys in I believe 78 or something like that. And then it was a 28-team league, and it just took a little bit. Well, actually, the Islanders were an expansion team in the early 70s. Then they got Alaba. They went on that run. But then after that, after the Penguins went back-to-back, it's just basically every other year it's like somebody else wins it. Other than when the Red Wings won 2 in a row, and I think the Penguins right now, right? Isn't that how it goes? I don't fucking know. But anyways, which is why I hate to say this as a Celtics fan. I think the Lakers they're the most successful franchise in the modern era, because they were able to, during free agency, win championships at a clip that people won before. Back when there was if you were a Laker, you were a Laker. Go fuck yourself. You're not going somewhere else unless the owner decides. Having said that, the Lakers do have a championship. There was a mobbed up ref and fucked over the Sacramento Kings that year. I'm not saying the Kings would have won it, but the Lakers would not have gotten a banner that year. And then that other one with the fucking 30-something fouls in 48 minutes of the Celtics. I'll never forget Kobe. He goes, I don't know how we won that game. Well, fucking talk to the guys with the athlete's foot shirts. Anyways, sorry. I'm just in a fucking bad mood because my team lost.